Oh, you want to play psycho killer? Can I be the helpless victim?
Cross your eyes and scream, man. Scream for your life.
Welcome, Scream Queens, Kings, and Things. Whether you're screaming at movies or the real-life stuff, I'm your host, Jenica Olin. This is my 43rd episode. My theme of the month is Supernatural September, with 4 weeks of horror movies based on supernatural events. In the early 1970s, a secluded Rhode Island farmhouse became the stage for one of the most chilling cases ever documented by a pair of paranormal investigators. What seemed like an ordinary family home revealed a presence older and darker than anyone imagined. If you're new here, each episode will have an intro, brief synopsis of the movie, and analysis of the film, and then I get into the true horrors of it all. Since this movie is based on a true story, quote unquote, imagine I'm doing air quotes as I say that, my true horrors and horror talk portion will be combined. Spoiler alert, I've made it my job to spoil the shit out of this movie. Today I'll be covering the 2013 The Conjuring, the one that started it all. Directed by James Wan, written by Chad Hayes and Carrie Hayes. Starring Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, and Ron Livingston. The estimated budget was $20 million, and the estimated gross was $320 million. Some quick trivia about this film. The real Perron family visited the set of the film. The film was given an R rating by the MPAA. The filmmakers had thought the final cut had a chance of getting the more box office friendly PG-13 rating and asked the rating board for clarification. The MPAA said simply that the film was so scary that there were no cuts or edits possible that would make it a viable PG-13 film. The filmmakers did not want to alter the film's tone and accepted the R rating without any appeals. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga both traveled to Connecticut to meet with Lorraine Warren prior to filming. When the movie was shown in the Philippines, some cinemas had to hire Catholic priests to bless the viewers before showing it. This was due to some viewers having reported a negative presence after watching the film. The priests also provided spiritual and psychological help to the viewers. Let's set the scene with a synopsis of the movie.
Who is that? Who's ever down there? I'm gonna lock you in now! Ah! Help! Andrea! Help!
In 1971, Carolyn and Roger Perron moved into a dilapidated old farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island, with their 5 daughters. During the first day, the family moves in smoothly, except for the dog, who refuses to come into the house. That night, the children play a game called hide and clap. While playing, one of the daughters finds the boarded-up entrance to a cellar. After Roger inspects the basement with a match, the family go to bed. Carolyn expresses concern because the dog is barking outside, and one of the daughters feels something pulling at her feet. In the morning, Carolyn wakes up to the mysterious bruise, and their dog Sadie is found dead. Over the next couple of days, various paranormal activities occur. Doors open and close seemingly by themselves, and Carolyn hears clapping when nobody is there. At night, their young daughter Cindy sleepwalks into the eldest daughter's bedroom, where she bangs her head repeatedly against an old wardrobe. The activity culminates in the eldest daughter being attacked by a spirit that looks like an elderly woman. Carolyn seeks the help of Ed and Lorraine Warren, noted paranormal investigators, to validate their concerns. Lorraine senses that a particular malevolent spirit has latched on to the family. They conduct an initial investigation and conclude that they should get involved.
Look what you made me do!
Explaining to the Perron family that the house may require an exorcism. However, this cannot be done without further evidence and authorization from the Catholic Church. During the process of researching the house's history, Ed and Lorraine find out that the house belonged to an accused witch, Bathsheba. When Bathsheba's husband caught her sacrificing their week-old infant, she climbed to the top of a tree at the property, cursed all those who would take her land, and proclaimed her love for Satan before committing suicide. This is followed by reports found of numerous murders and suicides in houses that have since been built upon the property. Ed and Lorraine returned to the house with a police officer and another paranormal investigator, Drew. They set up thermal cameras and alarm systems throughout the house in an attempt to prove the spirit of Bathsheba is inhabiting the house and receive authorization from the Catholic Church. For the first night, nothing happens. The next day, they all eat breakfast together, and Roger Perron thanks Ed Warren for doing what they can to help. During another night of investigation, nothing seems to happen until nightfall, when Cindy begins to sleepwalk again. While walking upstairs, thermal cameras observe a temperature drop around her as she enters into the wardrobe, whereupon the door slams shut behind her. The others force their way into the room and find a secret passage behind the wardrobe. After Cindy is taken out, Lorraine enters the wardrobe and falls through a floorboard down into the cellar. There, she sees the spirits of people whom Bathsheba has possessed and realizes Bathsheba's purpose: to possess mothers and use them to kill their children.
She visits Carolyn every night. That's what the bruise marks are. She's feeding off of her.
After Lorraine escapes the cellar, she and Ed take their evidence to Father Gordon to organize an exorcism, while the Perron family takes refuge in a hotel. Their relief is interrupted when Carolyn suddenly drives back to the house with two of her daughters. Ed and Lorraine rush to the house, where they find Roger and the police officer struggling with Carolyn as she tries to stab one of her daughters with a pair of scissors. Ed suggests they call the priest, but Lorraine reminds him that the priest is too far away, forcing Ed to perform the exorcism himself.
I have to do it. The exorcism.
What? I thought you said we need a priest. You're not a priest.
Well, you got a better idea.
He can do it.
While the others hold the tormented Carolyn down, Ed continues the exorcism. Carolyn seemingly stops struggling, and in a brief moment, it seems the exorcism was successful. Suddenly, her chair flips over, and she's held upside down. Ed yells for the demon to put her down, and after a few tense moments, she's released onto the ground. Ed rushes over to Carolyn and tells the demon to leave her body. Carolyn slowly turns to Ed and says,
I have to do it. The exorcism.
What? I thought you said we need a priest. You're not a priest.
Well, you got a better idea.
He can do it.
Meanwhile, Drew finds April hiding under the floorboards in the kitchen. He yells down the cellar that he found her, and this alerts the demon inside Carolyn, and she dashes up the cellar stairs to find April in order to complete the sacrifice. Ed and Lorraine Warren, along with Roger, rush up the stairs after her to order her to stop from going through with it. The possessed Carolyn chases after April through a tunnel underneath the floorboards. Carolyn grabs a hold of April, but at the same time, Lorraine reaches down through the floor and grabs Carolyn's head. She tells Carolyn to remember how much her family means to her, and to remember what she told her about how special they were to her, and that they mean the world to her, and what she would leave behind if she went through with it. This seems to get through to Carolyn. As her face relaxes, her breathing returns to normal, The demonic presence in her eyes seems to fade.
This is what you'll be leaving behind.
She puts April down. The scene changes to Carolyn being helped out of the front door to a now sunny morning. As she crosses the threshold of the door into the sunlight, the bruises on her skin fade away, and she returns to her normal self. Roger and Carolyn rejoice with their family in the front yard, embracing one another, knowing that it's finally over. After they ward off the demon at the Perron house, the Warrens return to their home. The scene cuts to Ed Warren entering his room of possessed objects and artifacts. He places the old music box from the house on an empty space on a shelf. Lorraine enters the room, and they leave together. After a few seconds, the music box starts to play on its own.
All right, now it's time to talk horror. And today my guest is Taylor Complains. He is a horror movie reviewer and fellow podcaster. So where can people find you and what have you been working on?
I'm a wannabe podcaster. You are a podcaster. What I do takes no talent or intellect. But yeah, you can find me at Taylor Complains on anything. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I try to be very easy to follow. There's no 800 numbers behind my name. It's just Taylor Complain.
No, nice and easy. I know you definitely put a lot of humor into everything you do. And I think if you like some kind of crass humor and horror all together, you're definitely a person to follow, or the person to follow.
I am very off-putting.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think I come off as too nice, and it's because I like talking about horror and I like doing what I'm doing, but I'm not a mean person. I'm not a not nice person, but I don't take shit. So horror makes me bubbly, which is like a weird thing to say.
I find you very professional. Like when I've seen a ton of your videos, obviously, and I've been following you for a long time, and I've heard numerous podcasts of your podcast comes up like when you release one, it comes up on my feed, so it'll just play after like Kill Tony or whatever I'm listening to. You're very, very knowledgeable and professional, and I'm just like, it never comes off like disingenuous, but also like you have like a very mom vibe where it's like she could stab someone too, I think.
Yeah.
If things went the wrong way. So
That's
it's like
exactly
where I'm
what
just
I am.
Like I'm like a goofball. I'm like, if you're mean to me, I'll throw up on you. You know, like I don't have any. I'm not a serious person. I'm just not. Life's too short, and that's absolutely not like any like admonishment of like what your vibe is. Like obviously you're fun, professional, and like happy.
Yeah.
I'm just a goofball. I don't have time to be serious. It's just because then I don't get that time of my life back where I could be joking about something horrible.
No, I get it. I totally get it. No, I appreciate it. I take that all as a very high compliment. So today we are here talking about the first Conjuring movie that came out in 2013. There's a lot here to unpack. So I kind of have it broken into themes, and we're going to start out with dark foundations. The state of Rhode Island does not require home sellers to disclose documented histories of locations, criminal activity to potential buyers. So basically anything that's happened in that house. Yeah. So the Perrons bought this house unaware of all previous events that happened there.
You could have a house and like live in it and then not know what happened in it and then find out a couple years ago, like, yeah, there's a lady here. She used to be married, but she ate her husband in the bathtub. Be like, I want to know that, dude, because then I would take way more baths. I would want to be in that bathtub more.
You want to be in that bath water?
Somebody was 8 in here. Yeah. I'd be like, yo, I wish I would have known, like, if I want to go somewhere where they're haunted so I could talk trash to the ghosts. Mm-hmm. Just trash talk them until they show up. That's what I would do.
You know what this just reminded me of? You talking shit like that. Did you see there's like a video going around right now about a person died in a jacuzzi and they were in the jacuzzi. Oh, yeah, with the
bath water and it's all gross?
Yeah.
You could pay me to drink an ounce of that But it would cost
No.
you an insurmountable amount of money because there's skin, there's blood, there's eye
No.
juices. There's
No,
probably
that's
like
not even no. You're gonna make me puke. That's so gross.
like I would get it
Mm-mm.
like you get a straw and then just like doop, and I'd be like, all right, $600. You better pay. And then I do it and then nobody pays. And now I have it like dribbling down my chin and I'm grossed out too. But it
Yeah,
kind of tastes like
no.
mustard. Kind of tastes like
No.
mustard.
No. I can't imagine. I'm just thinking about who's gonna buy that jacuzzi now.
I would buy it.
Who would probably be like,
I would
hey,
buy
you
it and
know,
I'd dress up like Ron Burgundy and be like cannonball and I would just go in it. But I would film it and I would get lots of likes because that's all that matters today.
there are 8 generations of families that lived and died in this house before the Perrons moved in. Andrea Perron suggested that some of the spirits from the families never left. Deaths included 2 undocumented suicides, a poisoning, the rape and murder of 11-year-old girl, 2 drownings,
Ew.
and 4 men who froze to death. Most deaths occurred within the Arnold family, from which Bathsheba Sherman was descended. So we get a lot of Bathsheba in this.
Is that who the old lady is? Who's just like hiding on the cabinets
Yeah, that's who it's
and in the
supposed to be.
corner of the wall with the door?
That's Bathsheba. It's supposed to be her.
She looks like a Sheba. Look like an old Sheba rug. I don't know. She just looked weird. I was like, I'm like you didn't even like make this lady try to look terrifying. I'm like, that's like my grandma, like now.
Yeah, she just looks feral, unkept.
Yeah.
The Perron family bought the house in an auction. And because of that, I know at least as a homeowner that when I went to buy my house, if I had bought it in an auction, there is no home inspection. It's like as is. You have to buy
What?
it like cash. I don't even think you can get it financed when you buy it from an
I also
auction.
I don't like the flexing of home ownership that just happened because
I'm
me
so
and my
sorry.
generation will never be able to afford homes. You see, this is a privilege podcast. Only
It's
people with
because
money
you
can
live
relate.
in California. Like, it's
That is true.
crazy expensive over there.
I could throw a rock and it would hit the beach.
I couldn't afford property over there.
I mean, it's like I rent a 2-bedroom for like $2,600. It's a lot.
Jesus
I feel like.
Christ.
Yeah.
You could
it's a lot. I mean,
definitely
it's
own
1,000 square
property if
feet.
you're paying that much.
Yeah,
Not
but I'd have to
there,
move to
but-
like there's like alligators where you live. I'm not going there. They all look like me. They would see me and be like, "Mom," and I'm like, "You're making me feel bad about myself. I'm going back to California just because I look like a reptile."
So the parents are asked about the kids being baptized, and the family says that they aren't really the church going type.
I said
Like
same.
me. Yeah, same too. Me too. The parents in The Conjuring moved into the Rhode Island farmhouse because it was affordable for their large family, but it was also run down, isolated, and came with history. So, like a lot of these stories that are based on real, true horror or true, like haunting stories, quote unquote, they often end up in this older house that they just purchased and they could barely afford it.
Relatable. Barely can afford anything. I like the way this is going. It's very contemporary. I relate.
I kind of have it where the movie scares are broken down versus the real parent testimony because there's a lot of shit in this. And it is, in the opening credits, it says based on a true story. We all know that there's only like a modicum of truth. Modicum? Did I say that right? I don't know.
Modicum of truth. Yeah.
We all know that there are things that are made up in here and exaggerated, but to the extent that it is like, I don't think people realize to the extent that it's made up. They think there's some truth to it beyond, the basic haunting story, right?
No such thing as ghosts. There
Okay,
is no
well,
ghosts. No one's ever met a ghost.
we-
It's this whole thing is fake. Whole thing is fake. A ghost haunting old witch, a doll that can't even draw on the wall right. What kind of like a doll with like she's got like the shaky hand. She's got MS? Why is her hand? Why is you can't draw something? I don't know. Especially a doll that's been inhabited for so long. The doll's not like 3 years old. It's like thousands of years old. You can't draw a straight line on a wall with a crayon. Like, give me a break. This is all fake. It's all fake.
Well, especially with the doll, it's like a soft body doll too in real life. So it's like, how is it standing up? It's not standing up.
The real life doll is the most like unmenacing thing I've ever seen. It looks
It's
like a
very
Cabbage
cute.
Patch
I want to
doll,
buy
but
one.
like,
I love
but like
Raggedy Ann.
Annabelle, like wasn't like they made Annabelle look like Caitlyn Jenner. I'm like, why does it just like her face was all shiny and looks like it had tons of plastic surgery done on it to look like that.
I can't tell anyone what to believe, but I know that I don't believe in ghosts or hauntings. So that's just me. Let's get into these movie scares versus real parent testimony. So we've got the hand clapping game, and you have to be blindfolded in this. The movie made that up. It was a complete invention by the filmmakers to make it more creepy.
I said embellishment.
Yes. So Carolyn is blindfolded and she follows the sounds of the ghostly claps and is lured into a wardrobe. In reality, the parents did play hide and seek like every other family, but the blindfolded clapping game never happened. And it's really creepy. It does the job of like building atmosphere and dread and all of that. The whole time that they're playing the game, like you could fall down the stairs. You have no idea where you're going.
I could only hope. And then when I get to wherever I'm going, I'm like, no more kids, no more husband. I get a halo and wings or whatever you get when you die. It would be rad. Or it would be really hot and I'd be on fire for a long time.
Or
Probably
you're
the
trapped in that
second.
house.
Oh shit. Oh, if I was trapped in a house with my former family, I would haunt the shit out of it. That you'd never seen anything like it. They'd make movies about it, I promise. And I would just chase everybody around with a vial of that jacuzzi water, and they'd be sleeping with their mouths open, and I'd be like, boop.
Well, I'll make sure that
I'd be
your
a horrible
family lets
ghost.
you die in a hospital and not in the house.
They could only hope.
So, okay, Bathsheba on the wardrobe. You had mentioned earlier, like the figure on top of the wardrobe, she's like all hunched over, and whenever you see her, and it's just like menacing.
She's a cabinet broad. She's just hiding on the cabinets.
Yeah, she's kind of like a cat, like the back is arched and, ready to attack, but she doesn't do anything. Or does it? She does leap onto Carolyn. Does she leap onto Carolyn?
From the point of view, we see her leap onto Carolyn, but I think it comes into the point of view of like Nancy and like the parents when they come in and they just see Carolyn like writhing on the ground. So we don't really know if Carolyn's like manifesting it or if I only know because I rolled credits like maybe an hour ago on this film.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I know. I don't have like a Conjuring brain. This is like all like I just watched
It's
it.
fresh. It's fresh for you. I watched it like 2 weeks ago when I was like making all my notes or whenever I finish my notes, and I haven't watched it since. I'm like, I take such extensive notes. I'm like, I don't need to watch it again. But in reality, the family never described this. Andrea said the spirit they believed to be Bathsheba tormented them, but never manifested in this way. So that was all made up.
Also, I'm not getting haunted by anybody named Sheba. Isn't that like a big tiger in like the African wilds or something like that? I'm not getting haunted by the spirit of a tiger. It's not happening. Sheba.
Well, Bathsheba was a real person, and we will get into that later, but it's actually really sad. Unfortunately, she had a really creepy name, and they could just keep using it. Like Bathsheba is a weird name. So next we have Carolyn's possessed, dragging through the house and pulls into a hidden crawl space in the walls.
God.
Okay, so the parents say that Carolyn experienced attacks, like being struck or shoved, but nobody ever pulled her into the walls. And actually, that whole sequence where they're like in the walls and all that shit and like climbing through the walls.
So the mom's possessed, climbing through the walls, trying to get to where she's keeping Carolyn. And the dad's just like, it's going to be okay. Remember when we went to the beach? Wasn't that nice? Now you like the beach. You love the beach. And then she's just fine and throws up the ghost. I'm like, I hate this movie so much. I hate it. I wanted to throw up. I looked at the lady. I was like, same. I want to do that. because
Yeah.
this is terrible. Like, because Lorraine's screaming at the dad, like, "Hey, just make her remember something that used to be fun." And the guy's like, "Remember when we went to the beach that one time?" I'm like, "God damn it, dude!" And
Yeah.
it's like a montage of them on the beach, and I'm like, I can't. I don't know how this is a popular. This is the most popular contemporary franchise of our generation, and I don't know how. This is like
Me
our
neither.
Exorcist. We're living through our Exorcist,
Oh no, The
and
Exorcist was
I
so
don't
much
understand.
fucking better than this. This is bullshit
No, I know, but
compared
like
to
as
The
far as
Exorcist.
from a phenomenon point of view,
Yeah.
when The Exorcist came out, people were like, "Oh my God!" This is the same thing with this. We've gotten a whole lore world for this movie,
Yeah.
and we're probably going to get a TV show. I know, with the horrible
Mm.
luck that I have in life, I know I'm going to get a fucking Conjuring TV show.
So, okay, the walls thing was made up and it was super creepy. It was a super creepy effect. If you got dragged into the walls and you had someone chasing you with a knife, like I don't know how the fuck I would escape through the walls. That's terrifying. Then we
And then someone yells
have,
at you in Spanish to try to get the demon out. That's terrifying. Or Latin.
well,
I'm half Mexican. They're both the same. As someone that is Mexican, I'll tell you, they're both the same.
I
They're not
believe you.
both the same.
I'm half Puerto Rican, but I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I,
I speak
I
horrible
failed.
Spanish. It's horrific.
So we've got these stupid birds that are crashing into the house, and the flocks of birds slam into the parents' home, dying on impact. In reality, Andrea Perron has said that this did happen on occasion. Birds would fly into the house or barn mysteriously. So that is based on testimony. They make it so dramatic. They make it look like all these birds are just committing suicide on the house all the time. And that's not
Oh, this movie made me
reality.
want to do that. I wanted to fly into the house. I was like, well, how hard do I have to hit my head against this wall to make my neck break? Because I can't sit through 2 hours of this movie. This was at like 35 minutes. I'm like, I could break my neck on my wall.
No, I wouldn't blame you, but please don't. Yeah, I can't remember. Was the house? It was on water. Was it a
Was it? I
coastal
think it
house
was
or
just
something? I don't know.
there was no like lake or coastal region around the house, but I know it was in
Mhm.
Rhode Island, so like that's literally like all coastal for like East Coast. But
Yeah.
it all just looked like a big plot of land that I want. I don't care if it's
Hmm.
haunted. I would move into that house. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It looked like a really cool property. It reminded me of like the property in like Sinister, where like they had the same kind of tree and like
Hmm.
juxtaposed
Hmm.
with like a big lush open backyard. So
They do have like a ramp and like a lake or something in the back
hmm.
of the house in the movie, but in reality, that was never there. So I don't know where they did that. I guess just to make it creepy. Also, the tree's fake, but we'll get to that.
Wait, like it's not a real tree, or if you tell me it's a CGI tree, I'm gonna eat my microphone right now.
No, it was, I mean, I think it was a prop, but that tree never
Okay,
existed at the
that's
house. There was never a creepy hanging tree. That was all made up. So let's get back to what's real. Okay. Strange smells, cold spots, and voices. In the movie, the family notices rotting odors, cold drafts, and disembodied voices. In reality, the parents consistently described bad smells, fluctuating temperatures, and whispering voices. That was their testimony. But all those things are basic people saying that there's a haunting. Like those are baseline haunting scenarios. And they're not provable. It's all based on first person testimony. And they can be easily disproven. Like, I'm sure the house that you just moved into, that you bought in an auction, smells bad. There could be mold. You have fluctuating temperatures. I'm pretty sure this house it didn't have central AC.
ew. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. They had a furnace.
Yeah, they didn't have central
Anything with
AC.
a furnace, usually it's usually a tell. Central air, not the main priority when building the house.
And it was an older house that they bought. So you're telling me that you have fluctuating temperatures in a house with literally nothing to regulate the temperature. Well, fucking duh. Yeah.
Just let the ghost live in the other bedroom. That's what I would do. I would be so happy about this big house with the yard around it. I have land. Let me board this secret basement door back up. Live there.
Oh,
I would be
yeah.
so
It
happy to
was
live in
like a
that
secret
house.
door in the movie. It was like, oh,
I
we
would have
didn't
just
know there
been
was a
happy.
basement. How? How that was also bullshit, but
They
okay.
were playing the hide and go clap game, and then she had the blindfold on, and she was looking for her sister, and she caught her, and then the sister backed up and knocked one of the boards loose.
There's no way they didn't know that there was a basement. I didn't specifically look that up. I don't know if that's in my details, but that's something I'll be looking up later to find out if they actually didn't know about the basement, because, well, I covered Amityville Horror and they make it look like the door, or that there was no entrance to like the red room, but that's not true. They actually knew that was there, and there was a door that led to that, and it was actually just a closet.
Oh yeah, I just heard you do that one with Colby. I remember. I literally just listened to that before we were doing this.
Yeah, but it's another one of those
going through your
things where they
notes.
like make up shit because there has to be something hidden, right? It's like part of their
Yeah.
formula to feed us bullshit.
I didn't. Yeah, and then you could just tack on that based on a true story. Based on a true story. You could say whatever you want based on a true
Yeah.
story.
hmm
It's stupid.
So another little element they have in here is the clocks stop at 3:07 a.m.
307.
And this is the supposed time Bathsheba's curse took root, which how the fuck they know that? I have no clue. But the parents didn't describe this. The stopped clocks detail is a cinematic invention. Never happened. They never claimed that their clocks were stopping, even though I would
Based on a
stop
true
their
story.
clock. Did you hear what I said?
Even though you would stop their clock.
Yeah. It's a bad
Like
joke.
to be a troll?
Like, just in general, like kill them.
Oh, I am old. I'm older than you, and like, when's the day coming? You know what I mean? Like, is it today? God, let it be today. That's you're young 30s. I 76 years old. So that joke went right over my head because I'm in my wheelchair, you see.
It didn't land, but it's all right. I'm going to say that it's like the delay in the Zoom.
Do it.
That's why you didn't.
Blame the Zoom.
Yep.
Everyone will believe you based on a true story. It is the Zoom's fault. That is our story. We're sticking to it.
Yes. Next, we get children levitating, direct physical attacks. In the movie, Carolyn is nearly killed during the exorcism. The girls are dragged and levitated by spirits. In reality, Andrea Perron wrote that her mother was physically attacked, slapped, pushed, and bruised, but the children were never levitated. So the whole like physical attacks
Is
when
that
it
what they're-
comes to
With the white sheet on her head, and then it's like blood starts coming out, and then she starts getting bruised by the ghost. That's the scene that we're talking about?
Well,
Okay.
there are a few different scenes. So there's the scenes like she just wakes up with random bruises on her, right? And they're like worried
Like she's
about
sleeping
why
next to
she's
a
being
UFC
attacked.
fighter.
I don't know.
He's a nice
She's
guy, I
waking up
promise.
bruised. I mean, no one's questioning the dad.
I mean, he's the guy from Office Space. He didn't do it. It can't be the guy from Office Space. Don't blame him. Groceries when they're on the lam at the motel. He's a nice guy.
He actually was like a good dad in this movie compared to all the other dads in like the haunting movies. He was a good dad.
Dude.
She was just
I
the
would
crazy
be
one.
such a bad dad. Literally, if I'm married to someone, right, and they get haunted, I'm going to be like, hey, you've got 5 more days to not be haunted before we enter the stepmom era of these children. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're not gonna get an exorcist. I'm not gonna you're not gonna haunt everybody else. You figure it out. Listen, we're each taking individual responsibility for our situations here, and that seems like a you problem. Just saying.
Like you didn't or couldn't have at all contributed to the psychic attacks or whatever.
Just hire a clairvoyant to come shoot mind missiles at the devil so he leaves you alone. I don't know. At what point do we get like ridiculous?
It's all
I'm
a little
possessed.
ridiculous.
I think it's the devil.
Yeah, the whole levitating stuff is where it really takes it above what we are used to seeing within like firsthand accounts of a haunting. And it's untrue.
I see what you did there. The levitating takes it above. I like that.
Yeah.
I see.
I didn't even
Little
mean to
puns
do
in there.
that.
Good for you. Good for you, Janica.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk about these apparitions really quick. In the movie, we've got spirits appearing, visibly Bathsheba, a maid with slit wrists, a hanging woman in a tree. In reality, the parents said they saw apparitions in period clothing, but the gruesome specifics like slit wrists and hanging were invented for the film. So they're like, we just saw someone wearing old people clothing. That's it.
Just a good like shoehorning in of a nice costume. We're paying the costume designers X amount of money for a big Hollywood production. They better do their jobs. It didn't even need, we're not paying this guy for no reason because it's not a period piece movie. So it makes sense.
I mean, honestly, it's like maybe they went through a time loop.
The Conjuring's trying to Avengers Endgame us. I'm like, God damn it. We're in a time machine. We're in a time loop.
I mean, it was literally, they only saw like apparitions wearing period clothing and that's it. I'm like, there was nothing creepy about them.
Is that a pilgrim? Mom, this ghost looks like a pilgrim.
I wonder where she got her corset from. It was really nice.
She's wearing like a Mayflower undershirt. You're like, she wore on the Mayflower?
Let me get that. All right. So the hanging tree, which I kind of already mentioned, there was no hanging tree at the Perron house, though a legend of a hanging has become attached to the property. The famous tree shown in The Conjuring was a prop. It was not real. In reality, the Arnold estate, the house is in Harrisville, Rhode Island. It's known as the Arnold estate. Its history includes several deaths, with one historical account of a woman hanging herself in the 18th century, but not from a tree.
Because it's either that or she gets burned because they think she's a witch. So she's like, I could do this myself or they're going to set me on fire.
It was not a good time. I would not want to be a person living in the 18th century.
No.
That's not.
Dude, they would burn you guys for being women because they would think you're witches. It was crazy. And she lives right above Massachusetts where the witch trials happen. No way.
Yeah.
Dude. No way.
Oh, yeah. I'm way too honorary. I would be immediately dead.
Janica's too sassy today. We're gonna have to light her on fire.
That'll teach me. According to the investigation by a skeptical Inquirer, historical records indicate a Miss John Arnold did commit suicide by hanging in 1866, but it happened in a different location, a storeroom in her own house, not the farmhouse or its barn.
At least we have continuity. We got a hanging over here. We have a hanging over here. They're just in different places. But, I mean, they're in similar locations.
So, exorcism performed by Warrens. In the movie, Ed Warren performs an exorcism and frees Carolyn from Bathsheba's possession. In reality,
through Spanish.
The Catholic Church never sanctioned an exorcism at the Perron home. Andrea Perron says Ed attempted rituals, but no full exorcisms ever occurred. There were like seances with a priest present that did not result in anyone being freed from possession. In fact, a lay person is not, which is what Ed would be, is not ever authorized to perform an exorcism. But it would be impossible for them to cast the demon out at all. In Catholic theology, it's only bishops who have the power and authority to cast out demons in Christ's name. So bishops are able to deputize priests to do this function for them. However, a non-ordained individual could never perform the ritual successfully. And in cases where lay people, Ed and Lorraine Warren, have attempted to do so, it's resulted in harm to them and the possessed.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like they yell at you in Latin and then they throw holy water on you and then they talk about Jesus. I feel like that wouldn't hurt anybody, right?
Well, so part of the problem is that when you get these exorcisms, they tend to tie people up and keep them there for a long time without food or water or anything. And they do tend to hit them.
Guess, yeah.
It's not like they don't. Sometimes they beat people to get the spirits out. That was a thing. That's a thing. So
that's
they end up
mildly
killing
funny because you're like, demon, I said go. Hey, I said go. Demon.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not hitting you. I'm hitting
somebody.
the demon.
Demon's like, apparently I possess the wife of Ray Rice because I keep getting hit. So, okay. Football joke.
I don't get that joke, but I believe someone else
I'm glad
will.
you don't because the video is horrific. Don't watch it. Don't look it up. Ray Rice video online in the elevator. Don't look it up.
I have whole little thing about what Ed is saying. So Ed Warren begins the exorcism on Carolyn Perron by saying what is called a Vade Retro Satana? I don't even fucking know. Which is a Latin phrase meaning get back, Satan. So basically they're like, get back, Satan. They're like sassy.
They're giving him dance move instructions. Get back, Satan.
They're like, get out of here. Get back. Don't come over here.
They all can't be winners.
It's a prayer developed in the Middle Ages by Saint Benedict to ward off evil spirits and is part of a ritual exorcism. The full prayer is, I might become possessed by saying this, so just let me know if my eyes like turn white or something.
Crux sacra sit mihi lux. Crux sacra sit mihi lux. Non draco sit mihi dux. Vare retro satana. Numquam suare mihi vana. Sunt mala quelibas. Ipse venena biba.
And that's it. Yeah, that's it.
There's no way you're Puerto Rican. That was the whitest pronunciation of Latin I've ever heard.
Oh my
And there
God. Let
are
me redo it.
so
Okay.
many Latin people. There's so many Latin people right now
Oh my
that are
God.
upset.
Let me, okay. I have
Mijo,
to
cover
redo
your
it.
ears.
And
She's reading Latin.
Crux sacra sit mihi lux. Crux sacra sit mihi lux. Non draco sit mihi dux. Vare retro satana. Numquam suare mihi vana. Sunt mala quelibas. Ipse venena biba.
Is that better?
Rolling your R's isn't Spanish.
What?
You rolled your R. You rolled the R's aren't Spanish. Like it's yeah. That was good. I give it
Okay.
now.
You know what?
Everybody's possessed.
You know what? Puerto Rican Spanish is different than Mexican Spanish. So
It is true.
people
We are
talk a
poor
lot of
version
shit
of
about
you.
Puerto Ricans and the way that they speak.
I only want to hear it if it's funny. And that's my rule.
Okay.
I'll hear you out, but it better be funny.
Here's the translation that isn't whatever that is. It says, may the Holy
Bring
Cross
me a
be
peanut
my
butter and jelly
light.
sandwich.
May the dragon never be my guide.
my
Be
God.
gone, Satan. Never tempt me with your vanity. While you offer me as evil, drink the poison yourself. That's what that says.
All that just said that? Not like
Yeah.
Satan, why don't you text me back or anything? Like that was a lot for just that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's like drink your own fucking poison. That's what he's saying.
Stop peeing in my mouth, Satan. Stop it. Gross.
Stop trying to lure me with your vanity. I don't want your evil beauty. It's basically.
Wait, I want
That's
that.
it.
If
I mean-
anything can help me, I need Satan's vanity right now. I need it. Help me, Satan.
May
I
dragon
need to
never
figure
be
out how
my
to
guide.
speak
I
Latin.
want a dragon to guide me. I like
but
dragons.
you get the weird one from Mulan and you end up in like Vietnam. It's not good. You don't want that.
No, I would just be like Game of Thrones. I'd be like, what's her name?
Daenerys.
Yeah. I'd be
God,
her.
I'm such a nerd. That was way too fast. I should have waited just for posterity and been like, oh, I don't know what her name is. Oh, it's Daenerys. God, I
Daenerys.
outed how bad I smell through that.
That's a great show. So the next little piece of thing I have in here is the recorded interviews of the parents. In the movie, the mom's voice didn't record when they interviewed the parents. Reality, Lorraine Warren believed the spirit was speaking, not Carolyn, hence her voice wasn't recorded. So this is all anecdotal. It's based on Andrea Perron's statement, no publicly available technical proof. And your shit just malfunctioned. It didn't record. Did you not hit the record
just
button?
wasn't
Like, I don't
speaking
think
into the
this is
mic.
proof of anything.
Incompetence. You just weren't speaking to the mic. You did it. She was like this. What? And she's just like talking in the other direction. I'm like, you're not even looking at the people that you're talking to. Can we do this? Can we redo this? Nah, this is good. We'll publish this. And then now everybody's freaking out because there's no audio from like the girl.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point because technology wasn't nearly where it is today.
No.
And so if they're using this like little tiny shit microphone and he knows how to speak into it. But if you don't know how to speak into a microphone, it's not going to catch what you're saying.
No. You just look in the direction and just yap. It's not hard.
Yeah, closely. If anything, I want to hear like a different voice. the absence of something is not proof of something.
I don't know. There's just like her talking when nothing's coming out isn't scary, menacing, or tone setting. Like, especially it doesn't really line up with like the atmosphere you're trying to build with the rest of the film, because the rest of the film doesn't really leave anything up to the imagination. It just gives you what's there. Like, it gives you something tangible or something audible. There's neither of those in that situation. Give me something.
Yeah.
Moan. Be weird.
Right? There's so much more that could have made that creepy. But just like, oh, it recorded nothing. It's like, oh, okay. And that is like one of their biggest pieces of evidence that there was a haunting is they point to the recordings, which is crazy.
The fact that there's even a case about this makes me lose faith in a lot of humanity, because I want to look at this whole thing as a whole and be like, you're all a bunch of morons.
Okay, temperature detecting cameras. For cinematic purposes, it had a really good effect. We have Ed and Lorraine Warren with their assistants setting up cameras, bells, and other monitoring devices in the Perron home. A dramatic sequence shows a Perron daughter being photographed while sleepwalking with supernatural implications. Ed Warren says that the cameras can only take pictures because there's something with her. In reality, they were known for like they had cameras, tape recorders, and they did have some kind of like temperature sensitive tools like thermometers.
Yeah.
Like they basically had thermometers, which is okay.
I like that they call them temperature sensing tools. Just thermometer, dude. Like,
you brought a fucking thermometer with you.
You got to smarten up everything. You took a wall thermometer, you took it out of the casing, and now you're just you're using mercury to read the like how hot the room is.
Yeah. It's a silly, weird twist on what this is supposed to be, like trying to give themselves like a more professional air about them. Like, this is official. And it's like, no, it's a thermometer.
I roll my eyes real quick.
There's no record of specialized temperature detecting cameras. That element seems to be film invented. At the time, early 1970s, such technology wasn't portable in any way. So there's no way that they were using actual cameras that had heat to temperature detecting shit. There are no verified photos of the parents' daughter sleepwalking. There's no documented photos from the parents' case showing the children sleepwalking or being influenced by paranormal forces. Andrea Perron herself has said that the movie dramatized many events and doesn't mention photos of this nature in her writings. So
it pretty much calls them out for like embellishing and being like, I don't remember any of this, but I mean, go ahead and make your movie and make a ton of money, I guess.
Yeah, but we're going to get
at our expense while you give us false narrative.
So another thing that I started thinking about, I'm like, okay, in the movie, they're showing assistants. They're showing like these two men that are there pretty much the whole time and also witnessing the haunting. It's like, okay, where is this? Like, where are these people coming from? I looked into this a little bit. And so the film version of The Conjuring shows Ed and Lorraine having assistants that witness paranormal activity alongside them. They were shown being more embedded in the investigation than they were in reality. In reality, there was Drew Thomas. He's mentioned in the sources as a technical assistant who helped set up cameras and bells in the Perron house during the Warrens' investigation of the haunting. And then there's Brad Hamilton, is referred to as a police officer who likewise assisted in setting up that evidence gathering equipment. These roles are recounted in summaries like the Perron family's background on fandom and other case retrospectives. There are no accounts from Andrea Perron, the Warrens, or secondary sources that either man stayed in the house for extended periods of time, like shown in the movie. Their names only appear in the context of initial technical setup, not in the family's ongoing experiences. So while there is some testimony that there were assistants, it is not nearly to the extent of what is shown in the movie.
Now I remember kind of like when they're doing that in the basement, there is a random cop there and then there is somebody else. So I do. And like they like shackle the lady up and then she starts bleeding from the face underneath the white cloth. I remember that.
Yeah, and they like the one guy witnesses some of the haunting stuff. He's like following the girl around while she's sleepwalking, and he's seeing the cameras going off, and you see the perspective of the assistants. Kind of towards the end of the movie, you see it in and out. They're there. If there was,
I only recall them in the end.
yeah, they were really only in the end. If anything, like that could be something to their credibility, right? If there were some other people that had witnessed this stuff, like was showing, but that's inaccurate. They never saw anything. They never claimed to see anything.
I want video. I'm gonna be really like a stickler. Like if you want me to believe something, send me a video. I want a video of it happening. If there's no video, there's no proof.
I don't even know if I would believe a video unless I can
really
detect that it's not tampered with all the technology we have.
Like AI. That is true.
Yeah.
AI.
I mean, there's so
AI
much you
got
can do.
$1,000 out of my grandma.
No.
Yeah, it's getting wild. What would you need for proof? What would be considered substantiated proof in the case where you would believe like a paranormal experience happened to someone? What would they need to provide for you?
That's a hard question.
The best. I just saw like your whole.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I need to see it in person because there are just way too many.
You'd want to see that in person?
I need to see it in person because there are just way too many ways for people to play tricks.
That's true.
Just tamper with reality and have magicians for a reason, right? And all these like old seances and stuff, like there's so much proof of like they claimed that things were real, but they had all these traps and contraptions and like things to make it seem like things were really levitating and stuff. There are just so many ways. People can be really inventive with how they fuck with you. A video wouldn't do it for me because there are just too many ways for that to be tampered with.
As a lazy person, I would just be like, "Oh, look at that video. Okay, I believe in ghosts now." Because I'm not going anywhere wherever you go. You got to get on a plane. Nope, not doing that. Not going on a plane. Getting through TSA is its own haunting, and I'm not willing to do that.
If I win the Face of Halloween contest, then I get to go ghost hunting with Kane Hodder.
Does he believe in ghosts?
He does. He has like a whole ghost hunting like show thing. So I get to go ghost hunting
never let
with
it
him.
go. He was Jason, right?
Yeah, he was Jason. He's a super friendly guy, apparently. So I really hope that I win the Face of Halloween because I want to go ghost hunting and maybe he can prove me wrong.
I think he's the most famous actor of all time that never had a line in a film.
Yeah, he doesn't have actual lines, but who needs words when you have brute force?
Who needs words when I can just use my hands? That's crazy. I agree, though.
Yes. I came up with this title. I was super proud of it. The Conjured Illusion. Get what I said? Get what I did there?
That's you're 2 for 2 right now. I'd like to let you know. You're 2 for 2. I hope you keep these in. I do. I hope you keep these in. And then you can feel the eye rolls as you listen to the podcast. You can feel the eye rolls from the audience.
Yeah, that's what I want. Let's talk a little bit about Bathsheba as a witch who killed a child. So the claim is that Bathsheba sacrificed an infant to Satan, cursed the land, and is the main spirit tormenting the parents.
She saved a lot of money doing that. Kids are expensive.
I mean,
it was a financially good decision, not morally good.
If they would have just let her get an abortion, she wouldn't have had to murder it.
Oh, that's the best because it's like the cheapest way. Or you could get one or sell the kid. I think selling the kid's better because you can like rent it out and make money on your investment. I'm just here to make people money.
Rent it out?
Financial advisors.
Are you? I don't know.
Like factories or people that want to I want a kid for a week. You know what I mean? You vet them.
No one just wants a kid for a week.
Nefarious.
For anything good.
Or who do you think's working on these iPhones? Kids are the only ones with the hands small enough to do it. They gotta go work. Put them to work.
For Bathsheba, she was accused of killing an infant. But historical research shows no evidence that Bathsheba was a witch or practiced Satanism in any way or killed a child. She lived a fairly ordinary life, married to Judson Sherman. That is a very basic name.
Judson?
Judd. No, it's a D. Judson Sherman.
Judson?
Yeah.
People just hated their kids back then.
Yeah, that's really bad names.
Judson.
And he died in 1885 of natural causes, so she didn't kill him. The real Bathsheba Sherman was suspected of witchcraft and of killing an infant. but her name was allegedly cleared after being found not guilty by the court of law. So she went through like a whole court case and was proven to not be guilty. She died of natural causes in 1885, so like right after her husband, not by hanging as the movie portrays. She is buried in Harrisville, Rhode Island. The alleged child's murder story first appears in oral lore, not in documented records. Historians say her reputation was twisted unfairly. Poor Bathsheba.
But I feel like for entertainment purposes, it is better that she hung herself because nobody wants to watch her die of natural causes in 1885. Like,
no one wants to watch her husband die, and then she dies shortly after, and they have like this lovely life where they are just happy together. No.
Because they never experimented or dated anyone else. That's the sad part. I'm glad that they did the thing that they did, and they Hollywoodized it and they made it gross. That's what I like. She hung herself.
There was oral lore about it because she was accused of stuff, but it's because she was actually like supposedly really beautiful, and people just didn't like her. And people thought she was weird because she was too pretty. Frolicked in plants or something.
They always do it. The hot one always gets the bum deal. I look like a foot.
Yeah.
She's a witch.
Another claim is that the house was built on a Native American burial ground. The parents said local history revealed the house was built on a cursed land once used as a burial ground. This has been disproven. Investigations into the property history show no record of Native American burials on the farmland. While indigenous people lived in Rhode Island, no archaeological evidence supports the burial ground claim. The Warrens and Perrons claim multiple deaths and tragedies occurred in or near the house. So they talk about hangings, suicides, poisoned children. These are disproven. Local records do not confirm these deaths at the Arnold estate. At least some of the deaths attributed to the house actually happened miles away, and others were fabricated or misattributed. So that was a lie.
But the Indian burial ground thing is rad. That's always such a good concept for anything, and they should have ran with that.
It's a trope for a reason.
They have the best folklore, indigenous people. The best. My favorite.
Yeah. I'm completely fine with like people that were murdered going and haunting the people who took their land.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But that's not what they're showing here.
I mean, they should have. That could have been rad because if you think about it, every piece of land here is cursed because we stole it.
That should be the next haunting movie where just like a bunch of indigenous spirits come back and kill a bunch of people. I feel like that was that a Tales from the Crypt story or?
Yeah, probably.
I think
it sounds like it because I can vaguely remember it was like very bone tomahawky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it had like that feel to it.
Another claim is that 7 soldiers were buried in the walls. Andrea described learning there were soldiers buried in the house walls. This has been disproven, structurally impossible. The house's walls are thin and could not contain multiple adult bodies. Historians have dismissed this as folklore or embellishment. Also false. The Perron's godless portrayal. So in the beginning, the Warrens ask the Perron family, like if they're religious, if the kids have been baptized, and they say, no, they're not really church-going people. Well, this has been a point of contention for the family. In reality, Roger had been raised Catholic and Carolyn converted, and all 5 daughters were baptized and confirmed. Andrea has openly said that the movie's depiction of them as non-religious was a gross inaccuracy. So that offended her out of everything. The fact that they portrayed them as like godless heathens that are now bringing this upon themselves, that was offensive.
Of course. There's always got to be something, and it's always the dumbest thing. It's like, I don't mind that you make a horrible movie about me, but I was not godless.
How dare they? So Carolyn's research and the historian. Carolyn supposedly worked with a local historian named Mr. McCatchern. I don't know some guy who uncovered Bathsheba's dark history This has been disproven. No records exist of such a historian. Researchers who have traced the claim believe this figure was fabricated or misremembered. The Bathsheba curse, burial ground, murders tried in the house, and exorcism are the biggest disproven elements in this movie, which is basically the whole movie.
They just proved all of it?
They proved all of it wrong. Like, the only thing that was ever true was they thought they heard noises, they had smells,
Dude.
and there were maybe cold spots in a house without central AC.
And it smelled bad because the dad didn't shower. The mom's feet. I don't know. But they proved all of it wrong. I don't know. How did they get 4 movies out of this? Are they, I guess for the one story, because Ed and Lorraine, it's about like them going from case to case. But I don't know how the first movie gets off if it was already disproven, and then they get away with putting based on a true. I guess it is based on a true story because we do hear the noises and we do hear the doors shutting, and it does kind of make sense.
All of those main elements that we see and we're like, oh my God, this is so scary. Oh my God, they went through all of that. Like, no, they didn't. They didn't go through any of that. It's all made up.
I wonder how much needs to be true to tack on the based on a true story thing.
So here's what is true-ish, if we can consider it true. The haunting events, like doors opening, strange noises, bad smells. Those are all things that are hard to debunk. But skeptics point to ordinary causes like drafts, warped wood, bad plumbing, and sleep paralysis. I mean, so they did feel like they saw things. There was a lot of stress going on, and we'll kind of get into that a little bit too. But yeah, so it was like all basic things that people claim. That was the basis of this. But they add all these, like all this other shit onto it. But this is why Ed and Lorraine Warren are total fucking hacks.
I mean, don't people call them grifters?
Yeah.
Like, they're widely known as like grifters, and like so much stuff's come out about both of them. So I guess this does make sense. It's like the heaviest of heavy of embellishments on a story is what this is. Because all this is just like a guy and a lady with kids that moved into a house that said, oh, yeah, we hear weird noises sometimes, but I don't know. And then 2 people going, I know, it's demons. And it's like, what the fuck? I just said there's no, dude, it's an old house.
There was never a possession at all.
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, no.
No, I mean, I didn't know like the debunking, like the conflicting claims part that we're doing. I didn't know any of this stuff. Like, obviously I watched the movie, but like I didn't read anything beyond that because I was so off put by the movie. I was like, fuck this movie. Now I hate it even more.
Well, yeah.
I didn't think that was possible.
It definitely doesn't make things better. So let's talk about some of these conflicting claims, because we have Andrea Perron, who was the eldest daughter of the family, and she likes to pop up a lot and say that things are accurate or that this is all true. But she's also been recorded saying that certain events didn't happen. So there's a lot of conflicting claims here. I think she's out for the Benjamins and she wants attention. Yeah. And I've seen these kind of people before. According to Andrea Perron, the eldest daughter of the family, who was a consultant for the film, she believes the dark spirit that haunted their home was not Bathsheba, as Lorraine Warren had sensed, but was Miss Arnold. The Arnolds were among the former owners of the farmhouse. Andrea Perron wrote a 3-part book based on her experiences in the house titled House of Darkness, House of Light. Experiences written about in her book also appear in the film. Perron cites the film as a work of art and not a work of fiction. Right now, she's just trying to sell her own shit. That's basically it.
Yeah.
And to call it like a work of art and not a work of fiction, what does that mean? How is a movie like it's either like a documentary about what happened and it's accurate, or it's fucking not.
I mean, there's mockumentaries. It could be a mockumentary because mockumentaries aren't true.
In her memoirs, have been criticized for excessive padding, narrative inconsistency, and imaginative reconstruction of scenes decades later. Some recounted events that occurred when she wasn't even present. So she's like making shit up in her book. There are things where she wasn't even there and she's writing about it as if she was there.
Of course. Absolutely. I'm zero surprised by any of the behaviors from this lady.
The real Lorraine Warren and Andrea Perron served as consultants to director James Wan and the screenwriters. They both claimed the movie is accurate to the real story of what happened to the Perrons during the 10 years they lived in the farmhouse. When Norma Sutcliffe, the property's later owner, researched the house's haunted history, she found no independent confirmation, only the Perron family's accounts. So basically, she's full of shit. Lorraine Warren is full of shit. Like, the fact that Andrea Perron is going out there and saying that all these things are true is crazy, because they've already been disproven by, like, her other family members are already saying those things never happened. She's the only one saying this is accurate.
Lorraine is a clairvoyant. She knows. She knows.
She's not crazy. She has premonitions.
She wakes up every day and reads her horoscope. Sign of mental illness.
Okay, so I have in here the prophets of possession. I also came up with that, and I feel like it was clever. So,
I mean, it makes sense. This is the grifting part.
So Ed Warren and Lorraine Warren investigated the Perron Rhode Island farmhouse in 1973 and 1974. In the original case, Ed and Lorraine Warren were kicked out of the house as they were not able to help the parents. So, like, the fact that they're saying, oh, this is 100% accurate, bitch, you were kicked out of the house.
The movie shows that they exorcised the demon out of this lady and they ended up happy. What?
Yeah. No, she was kicked out of the house. The haunting narrative relies almost exclusively on decades later personal accounts, creative retellings, and the Warrens' controversial interpretations. Critical research reveals likely natural explanations, memory distortion, narrative dramatization, and no substantial historical or paranormal evidence exists on any of this. The fact that they're going and saying that this is accurate to the story, and we have there's so much proof that it's bullshit. Like, every major event in that movie is bullshit.
How do you want to know how they get away with making it if it's like 80% fabricated? Maybe like even in the 90s.
Just because there was supposedly a haunting, that's all that they need. It's like saying, something's gluten-free, or there's no regulation on this,
That is true.
Or like all natural ingredients. What are some other labels you can put on something that's like total bullshit? Organic, yep.
Organic. But you have but there's pesticides all over it, so you're still eating like shit.
We have so many things that are not regulated, and people can just put whatever label they want on it.
Oh, our food is the worst. We have the worst food on the planet.
We do.
It tastes good, but like we're gonna die like in our 60s. Just wait. Our bodies aren't meant for this.
Yeah. So the Warrens' much publicized seance on site produced no photographic or film evidence. Reportedly, all cameras failed or provided blank footage. Documents about the case were said to be lost or misfiled, raising suspicion about the authenticity. A movie based on the Perron family has been made or has been in the works for over 20 years. It first surfaced when Ed Warren played a tape of his interview with Carolyn to producers Tony DeRosa Grund. That's an unfortunate name. Basically, they see themselves as like these shamans.
Spiritual gurus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a clairvoyant.
We can see ghosts.
We can sense them. We can help get rid of the spirits, but they're not sanctioned by the church. They're not ordained to do any of what they're doing. They talk about the stages of possession in the movie, like in the very beginning. And I was like, that's interesting. So
wasn't it like possession and
infestation? I think it's
that's right. That's right.
Infestation, oppression, and then possession.
Yeah.
So those are the three stages.
They talked about them.
Which, you know what? We can turn that scientific. So I feel like I could actually connect with that if there was anything to it, but there's not.
That is true. I mean, it's a very grassroots approach to something, to where I think that like a lot of people could relate and be like, oh, there might be validity behind that. But like, you're talking about fucking ghosts. It's like, shut up.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm on board until you're like, well, and then they're possessed by a demon and now they speak Chinese. It's like, what?
Yeah. No. Publicity or possession. I have this little segment. Joey King has said she contracted a blood disease during filming, and once they'd wrapped on the movie, her blood disease went away. According to an interview with Howard Stern in 2020, the disease was ITP, immune thrombolysis disease. It was ITP. This disease can last as little as a few weeks before going away on its own. So they try to point at these little things as being like there's something paranormal around the movie. And of course, they're doing it again already. We see it with the new Conjuring movie. They're going around and they're saying people are being possessed in the theaters.
It's the most, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't bode well for us as a society. It just doesn't.
No, it's really
This is not a good
stupid.
sign.
The fact that they have like they have like priests with holy water at the theaters, like get the fuck
It's
out of here.
blessed. But whatever, dude. I mean, people are having fun, but like they're having fun with such stupid shit. I don't know. This
But
is just
here's the
another
thing,
chicken jockey
people
moment.
take it seriously. It would be fun and all if they didn't actually portray it as truth. But that's like
Yeah,
the
people go
part
too
where
far.
it's like, this is too far. Like you've gone too far.
And you're just like, I worry about what? You know what though? I'm just glad that I see them in like their best because like they have to go home. I can't imagine what that home life is like with the people that believe this shit. That's a horror movie that I hope I never see. Like the reality of how stupid people are when they go to do shit like this and then they go home
Yeah.
and you're like, and I judge them.
Yeah, no, I judge heavily.
It's very important. Judge everyone.
I don't
Especially if they
need
do
to
this
be
shit.
God to judge you. I can just judge
No.
you. It's called
You're
being a
wearing
human
sandals in public.
being.
Holy
Yeah.
water in movie theaters.
Yeah. I'm going to go through some of these other things that came up post-production or like during the movie. They're just like things people try to point out to say like, oh, look, like it's following them. Like the possession, it was real, and now people are cursed that are on this set. When the Hayes brothers and Lorraine Warren, when they would chat on the phone about the script, they kept getting cut off by weird sounds and a lot of static. Then out of nowhere, the line would suddenly go dead. That's called having fucking bad reception.
Yeah. That's called 2 bars in the mountains.
Yeah. Like, where the fuck are you? You guys are, where's the set? Because those buildings are not good for reception.
We're in the bottom level of the parking structure with with 2 bars. I don't there's no that's
It
not
must be a
inexplicable.
ghost.
It has
Must
to
be
be
a
a ghost.
haunting.
It's the ghost of John Wilkes Booth. He shot out my cell phone reception. These people have like college degrees. They're like collegiate educated. They're just so like if
Oh,
somebody did get bugged, I would be like, "Oh shit, my bad, dude. I didn't mean to like, you know what I mean? My bad. We're good. I won't say that again." But like I always get into situations like that. I was like, "I didn't just get into another one, did I? I just
no,
want to drink with
no,
atheists.
no.
I just
I'm
love
just fucking with
atheists."
you. But it can be hard to tell when I'm joking too, because I can seem super serious.
No, you have a really good poker face. It sucks.
Well, thank
In
you.
this situation, it sucks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll let you know if I'm fucking
don't be
with you.
sorry.
I'm never like I would.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah. Okay, so so when the real life parents visited the set location in North Carolina, they felt a cool wind whip throughout the set. They also noticed that the intense sudden draft did not move or shake any trees. What the fuck is that?
I just hope these people have social media and people go to their accounts and go, "You're a fucking con artist. Con artist. You just want money." I mean, I get it, but you make it honestly, lying to people, telling horse shit.
Yeah. So there are no police records that exist confirming disturbances, violence, or unexplained phenomena tied to the house. No neighbors
Yeah, of
provided
course not.
testimony of hauntings at the time. The farmhouse has since had other owners after the parents left, and while some, like Norma Sutcliffe, admitted to hearing occasional odd noises, she strongly rejected the idea that the house was haunted. She even sued Warner Brothers over the movie's portrayal for causing trespassing and harassment to her home. Well, this poor lady's like living there and she's like, my house isn't haunted, leave me alone. And people are like, people go over to the property to take pictures. Or I would not want to buy one of these homes, not because I would be afraid of a haunting. I wouldn't want to be harassed.
I mean, but like the Nightmare on Elm Street house and like the Conjuring house and the Breaking Bad house, like, you kind of know what you're getting. I mean, but wait, was the house owned while before the movie was made?
I think so. Yeah, I think she bought the house before the movie was made. So she didn't know. I don't think she did know.
Yeah, that sucks. That poor lady.
No scientific evidence, temperature data, film, photos, recordings has been released to support the haunting. Andrea Perron seems to be the only family member that profited modestly through her memoir, but that would explain why she is so adamant about supporting the movie and saying that it is accurate, because she's actually making a profit. And that's it. That is the haunting of the Perron family. That is the Conjuring movie. And it's bullshit.
All bullshit. My cat's trying to like break the door down. She's like, I hate The Conjuring. Aww. I know. I wanted it to be good. I watched it. I turned it on. I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot, because if I change my tune, I want to go see the new one, because I like I like being a part of the conversation. And I think it was worse than what I thought it was, because I thought when it came out in theaters and I was like, this isn't really for me. And then I just dismissed it as something I didn't like. But sometimes I go back and revisit these things and I end up liking them. This was way worse than I thought. It's a 0 out of 10, this movie.
If you want a good haunting movie, go watch like 13 Ghosts. That's a great haunting movie.
Or like Ouija Origin of Evil. That one's good.
Just anything Flanagan is definitely worth a watch.
That's true.
And will give you the spooks. And they don't try to trick you and make you think that it's real. And I think the only reason why these movies get the audience that they do is because I
think it's
biased confirmation.
Yeah, that's true.
People want to believe that this is real, and they go to these movies expecting to see a real story. And so that's why I was so detailed. Did this event actually happen? Are they really claiming this? And like 80% of what they depicted in this movie, the Perron family isn't even trying to connect themselves to.
I don't understand how like it's legal to do this, like to embellish this much. You know what I mean? Like there's not even like a portion of it that's true anymore.
It's not recognizable to the real story at all.
No. And you wouldn't be able to hold them next to each other, the story and the facts, and then even remotely be like, oh, these are related. You'd be like, no, these are two different. Like this is an account of like a regular night in an old house. This is an account of like a supreme haunting that involves like decades and centuries of deaths and lineage and hangings and shit. And you're like, no, this one's just creaky old house.
The other one doesn't sell well. And that's why Ed and Lorraine Warren were so successful, because if they were anything, they were good storytellers. If they had just kept it as like, we want to be storytellers, then they would have been fantastic. But they decided that they wanted to con people, and they want people to believe their lies. If you make it something people can actually believe in, that's way more compelling than just another ghost story.
It makes me not like it more. If that makes any sense? Because I know that it's because I see based on a true story. I'm like, I didn't realize that like all of it.
So now I have a little game for you before I let you go. And this is EVP, which stands for Electron Voice Phenomena, I think. I'm going to play it, and we're going to listen to an EVP, and you're going to tell me what you think it says.
Okay. You met up with your old friends? You met up with your grandmother who raised you? How about your brothers?
So what do you think the ghost said? It could be A, fraud, B, friend, or C, family. You want to listen to it again?
He says friends. With your old friends, with your grandkids and family. He says family and friends. Different sentences. Friends.
That was it. So what do you think it is? You think friend?
Dad? No, wait, do it again. Do I have to have my eyes closed still?
You can open your
friend.
eyes. Friend.
Oh, the idiot.
Yeah.
Friend.
You knew it was friend the whole time. Did that sound like a ghost to you?
Yeah. Or like a guy, you know what I mean?
These EVP videos are always really Interesting. I mean, if you wanted to give me proof, I guess this could technically be proof, but it's not proof of anything.
Okay.
Let's see. Next one.
Have you seen Uncle Jay or Aunt Helen?
So do you think he said Helen, heathen, or heaven?
Wait, play it again. I didn't hear him say anything.
Do I need to make it louder?
No.
Here.
Wait, play it one more time. I mean, I heard the whole, like, have you seen Uncle Gene or Aunt Helen? And then, like, you played the second time, and I didn't hear anything. Are you conjuring me?
Aunt Helen?
Did you hear it? It's just like it goes in and then out.
I'm just doing it by process of elimination because I have no idea what he says.
He thinks it's heaven, but I think it's saying Helen because he literally asked it if it was Helen.
Yeah, he
so
said,
why would it not
he said it in
say-
the sentence before.
Yeah.
But I can barely, like, I can't even hear, like, what. It sounds like he's dropped something in the background or something. It sounds like a.
Well, he thinks it's heaven. So he thinks the ghost is answering to him and saying heaven.
Oh, he said heaven?
He's saying the ghost said heaven.
Of
But
course he
he's asking the question. Like, he's not a ghost.
Yeah.
The ghost didn't say Helen. Like, he was asking in, like, a normal person trying to catch the EVP.
That makes sense.
Did you think the whole thing
These
was
are so
supposed to be a
weird.
ghost?
No, I don't know what, because the first one that you played was like really weird and it made me feel weird. And I was like, what is this? It sounded like a found footage murder, like a crazy, like just like a deranged person. But I didn't know it was just like, I don't know. I didn't know it was EVP. I've never heard of EVP before either. So.
Oh, you haven't? They use it as proof for ghosts.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I stay as far away from anything ghosts as I can because I just laugh a lot.
I think they are fun to play with.
No, they're super fun to play with. That's a cool, like, drinking game. Anything can be a cool drinking game if you believe. See, I believe in that. I believe in cool drinking games.
You're a believer.
That's what I stand behind.
I mean,
Don't be
that's
sorry.
basically it. Thank you for being a guest on my podcast and talking to me
Thank
about
you for
this
inviting
movie.
me.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. I hated it. The movie, not your podcast.
Yeah. No, I expected you to hate it. It's part of the charm.
I'm definitely not seeing any of the new ones. There's no way. I'm not going to go to the theater now and like watch it on my day off. There's zero chance.
I'm not either. Eventually I'll have to watch it, but like this is something like I was even shocked by how much I found that was just completely fabricated. It's they're fucking hacks.
They are hacks. I don't know. I guess I'm just like wrapping my head around. I'm like, it's all fucking fake. I knew it was fake, but like they knew it was fake.
Yeah.
And they were still like, I'm going to make this anyway. I'm like, but then they claim it's real. And then I don't know. They are grifters and I can see why people don't like them.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I can just inform people.
Keep talking shit. I like it. You have my
Thank
support
you.
perpetually. Yeah, of course.
Well, it was great having you on as a guest. And yeah, we'll keep in touch. After talking with Taylor, I did a little bit more research because I was like, okay, I need to know some of these answers to the questions that came up while we were talking. Apparently, the Perron house did have a boarded up cellar, and the house was built in 1736. And the Perron family bought the home in an auction, like I had said, in the 1970s. So this was an old house. They lived there for a decade. The house did not have central air conditioning, like I assumed. There are structural issues to the house. The only people that have lived in the house and said there's paranormal activity have had an agenda to do so. They've been paranormal investigators that have purposely bought the house to make it a museum or a sideshow type thing. So take that with, whatever grain you want. Norma Sutcliffe lived there the longest and makes no claims of paranormal activity. The Conjuring Last Rites is making records all over. It's now the highest grossing in the Conjuring universe films, which is insane. So The Conjuring Last Rites is outperforming like every horror movie right now. It is the biggest horror opening ever. It's made 194 million globally. And why? Why is it doing so well? Well, it's a combination of marketing
a whole universe behind it. And this franchise has really put Ed and Lorraine Warren on a pedestal that they don't deserve. It's lied to your face about pretty much everything. Has it done well? Yeah. It lies to you and it tells you that it's a true story. Like all of these are supposedly true stories, but only like 5% of it is actually based on claims from these cases. And Ed and Lorraine Warren have manipulated and just been really horrible people. So I'm just disappointed. Honestly, I'm disappointed that it has done this well. There are better supernatural horror movies out there by far. And they're never going to do this well because they're not peddling a lie. And that's it. This is a weekly podcast with new episodes out every Thursday. All the research, writing, and audio is done by yours truly. This is a one-woman show, and I'm doing my very best. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. It really means a lot. You can find me on Instagram at Scream Queen Podcaster, Blue Sky at Scream Queen Podcast, TikTok at Scream Queen Podcast, and there's a link tree that will take you to my YouTube and Facebook page as well. Remember, if you feel like your house is being haunted, probably get a home inspection. Until next time, goodbye.